Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Tuesday, June 26th, 2012 is sponsored by RealTick. All right, guys, a few little scalps in the market today, making some good money for In the Money Stocks members. In addition, members that are in plays inside the research center as swing trades are also making money. And this is the beauty of what we do, folks. I see longs, I see shorts. Ultimately, I put them out, and the charts tell us the truth. I don't care if the market's going up or down. The chart setups are all that matters, and we can make money in any market if we read the charts correctly. 7-day free trial here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. The research center is geared towards swing traders and investors, while the intraday stock chat is for day traders. All right, nice breakout on the markets here. Please note, and I just talked about how patterns on the charts tell you where it's going to go. Please note this bullish consolidation. You had a nice move up into double top resistance right here. Then you had consolidation. This is bullish consolidation with a rising 20 and 50 moving average. That's telling you this has a good chance of breaking out, especially with the light volume today. Volume 98 million on the SPY. That is nothing, folks. That favors the upside. Light volume always favors the upside, and now you have a 3-bar surge breakout. Very simple to see that. Even a blind man should be able to see that breakout coming, in my opinion. Now, if you move up, where are you going to look to short? See this little pivot low right here? That's going to be a little bit of resistance here, and we're actually almost up into that level. So I'm really looking for the gap fill area, which is right around the 132.45.50 level on the SPY. You also have another pivot low from a couple days ago going back to last Friday at around the 132.60 area. So a lot of resistance coming up right up here. If the markets can push into it, I do expect a little bit of a pullback off of that on an intraday basis. The markets, again, are slowly floating up. We're actually up about $1 on the SPY, which is not a bad move considering the move down yesterday. We saw this actually on Friday. Remember, last Thursday, the markets had a huge down day. Friday, a bounce. Yesterday, which was Monday, big down day. Today, a little bit of a bounce. You're starting to see a theme here. And I still think there's a little bit more downside to go in this market. It's just a matter at this point of when it happens. And it should happen again over the next few days. Towards the end of this week into next week, it's a little harder to imagine them really selling the markets because we're now looking at a more dilutive light volume market because of the July 4th holiday next week as well. So again, it's all about timing the markets. It's all about recognizing the PPT. No, not the plunge protection team. Something just as good though. Price, pattern, and time. A scalp that I just did, folks. Let me just quickly show you this scalp. I shorted the Pierce of the 200 MA on Exxon, and I just took myself about 11 cents on a nice chunk of shares. So I mean, just a very easy stock to short right there. I made myself about $300-400 very easily, no stress, and that's all you do. I didn't even trade big volume there. Usually in the afternoons, I trade lighter volume than the mornings since the mornings are a little bit more productive. But again, there are scalps in the afternoon session. Right here was a nice one. Believe it or not, you're coming in on Exxon to the 200 MA right here, although you had a little pause there, which makes me wonder about it. But if we take the pivot highs right here, you can actually see that that's a nice little resistance secondary factor. So you still could get a little bit of a pullback on Chevron off of this level as well. And again, a great move on Chevron off the lows yesterday. Same thing with ExxonMobil. All right, looking at Facebook. Facebook, a good solid move today. Beautiful, up $1.37, highs of the day. Also Zynga making a move up, ZNGA. Let's take a look at that stock. Zynga up about 25 cents. By the way, Facebook was a call that I made on a long side when everyone else hated it. The call went out at around the $27 level as a long. It's now at $33.50. Think about that, folks. When everyone else was bashing it, saying how horrible it was, how it was going to go to $10 a share, when the little guy was unloading, members here at In the Money Stocks were accumulating. And we profited. I sold, I think, a couple days ago at $33 and 25 cents or something, 20 cents, something like that, for a monster gain from the $27 area. And we just know, I mean, bottom line is it's another profit in the market, in a pretty weak market nonetheless, that we've had some big down days in. But if you read the charts right, they tell you everything you need to know. All right, looking at some other stocks, folks, taking a look at Apple. Apple is a little on the weaker side, even with this breakout today on the markets. And the markets are, again, NASDAQ's up 24 points, but Apple is flat on the day. And by the way, Apple 3-bar surge into the 50 MA here, a little bit of resistance as well. Does look a little on the weak side to me personally. So again, you can see kind of how Apple, yes, it's had a nice surge here with the markets, but think about this. Apple's down slightly. markets are up very nicely, and that does show relative weakness, and I'm going to show you why right now. And this is a beautiful thing here. Take your trend line pivot low right here, connect it through the lows right there. That was your trend line break. Notice how yesterday you got below the moving averages as well. Look at the downside on Apple here. Beautiful little downside action on Apple. Breakdown there. And this chart actually tells us it could go quite a bit lower, to be honest. It really could go quite a bit lower. So something that we will have to monitor and keep an eye on here on the downside. The key is you don't want to see it recapture these lines, and then secondarily you wouldn't want to see it recapture this line. As long as it stays below this upsloping orangish line I just put in, this chart is actually bearish on Apple and should see further downside. Baidu's down about 75 cents today. Nothing much doing there. It continues to be weak. I'll show you the level I like it at. If it actually were to sell all the way down to about the 101, 102 area down here, I think that's a great little area of support for a bounce as a swing trade. IBM's down. Google's up a little bit. Chevron, Exxon, JPM, Goldman Sachs, all positive. So again, for the most part, there's mostly green on the screen, except for things like Baidu, Apple's flat on the data, slightly negative. Cisco's down. IBM's down. A little of the tech sector seems a little on the weaker side off of Apple. Okay, just scanning through, seeing if there's anything else. But I think that's about it for now, folks. I'm going to get back to work, get back to making money, and ultimately, bottom line is, come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Start making money with the pros and succeed. I mean, bottom line is, trading is very, very tough. But if you know the true things, if you know how to pick stocks based on swing trade keys like the PPT, plunge protection team, not really, but in fact the price pattern and time factors, you can literally make so much money in this market. All right, have a great afternoon, great evening, folks. Come join us here at In the Money Stocks. Take the free trial. We'll talk to you soon.